Passiamo al prossimo relatore, il professor Sasha Peters, che è proprietario di Haute Innovation, titolare, amministratore dal 2009 di questa bella realtà, esperto di materiali circolari, superfici intelligenti e tecnologie additive, autore di diversi libri e ovviamente professore onorario di scienza dei materiali nel campo del design. Professore, let's go.
Thanks for the invitation and the possibility to show materials. I bring a lot with me. I want to start with the big picture as we learned from today. The first presentation was about that. Climate change is real. So 2024 was the warmest year in history, and we have to do something. We know that we should reduce CO2 emissions. Of course, that's the big aim, the goal. European Union had a great idea of this European Green Deal to be carbon neutral by 2050. It's a big task to achieve, but we can all start to do so. The other idea, the other goal is to establish a circular economy. That means, in a technical circle, recycle the material as long as they can be recycled, and in the biological circle, use natural material and keep them as natural as they are to get them back into nature if possible. That we are living in another world and it's far away from that picture is clear, but we are on a good way to achieve results. For example, Switzerland has a recycling quote for mattresses and bedding of 1%. 1%. So there are startups starting to think about how can we change the system of mattresses and bedding in a way that we, of course, use recycled fibers, recycled yarns in mattresses, in textiles. We see a lot of that in the other hall, but also rethink the way the different materials are connected to each other. Normally, in upholstery, you'll use a lot of glues, and then the materials are fixed to each other. So recycling is very difficult. In that case, the startup company tries to find a solution to more separate the material and to higher the recycling quote in Switzerland. Other companies are go a step further. So that's a Dutch company, a Dutch startup called Cycle Foam. They use 100% recycled materials to create that foams from other industrial waste streams and put them together in a way that they are stacked, not glued, so at the end you can separate all the materials. The best way to work for me is to exchange the whole material system from the plastic-oriented materials into biomaterials. In that case, the designer from Stuttgart used algae, seaweed as a filler for this upholstery material, this seating, a natural textile wood, all stacked together, no glues allowed. Super interesting to see, because that can circle around the biological system. We see a lot of designers now thinking about working only with natural materials, like what Nurholz from Germany does, no glues, no additional metal pieces in, no screws, no nothing. So they use only wood to to have the possibility to join the different materials, metal-free joints. So they created this table, also have a bedding solution with it. And when you use only wood, there are, for what we have observed, two possibilities to color the wood in a way of not using any kind of synthetics. One is coming from UK called Paint Zero. So there is no plastics inside, no toxins, no chemicals, pure natural ingredients in that color system. Super interesting to see, and they all have these similar to the colors we saw in the presentation before. The other concept, or the other solution, is coming from Copenhagen. They don't use any pigments at all to color the wood. It's like they call it molecular treatment. It's based on heat, so no plastics inside and no pigments, so no additional materials on top. So they can color in black, as you can see here. It's a startup, by the way, so they need to scale up their production facility. They can color from gray through blue to black. They can color from slightly green to black and from slightly red to black. That's what they can. And of course, they are working on other color possibilities. Not everything is possible, but that's super interesting because there is no chemical process in at all. Eco blacks. So that's the big picture. I show you some other developments we recently found out because Germany changed the law a bit in a way that companies are forced to not only to recycle their materials but also to show how is a product coming back to the factory. So what is a product doing at the end of the life cycle? Companies do have to think about this and have that in mind. So there is a group of companies starting to think about working only with monomaterials, because monomaterials are easier to recycle. We have one example in the other hall, Neonest, who won one of the Interzum Italy awards yesterday. So first of all, 100% post-consumer plastics they use, but because they only use one type of plastics, it's also easy to recycle. Some screws in it, they use clippers to bring the textile on it, and for this kind of bedding, it's super interesting to work with systems like this. Fraunhofer Institute in Germany developed different kinds of materials on one sort of family of plastics. So you can have boards, fibers, foams, heart-shaped materials, upholstery from only one family, like PET or PA or PLA, and they offer this to the industry. You see different kind of materials, all based on one plastic family. So Novisteel, the Polish furniture producer, did a design convention last month. So they presented the results in Germany. The winner was this guy working with felt and molded boards, all based on PET, to have the possibility at the end of the life cycle to recycle it and being in a loop almost 100%. To 100% recycled, it's not possible. I know that from other materials. The second winner is even more interesting because they combined 3D printed furniture with a flexible soft seating upholstery on top, also not glued. It's clicked into the 3D printed part, and both of these winners will be presented at Orgatec, by the way, in later on this year in October. Interesting to see, because we had that question about AI. This is, by the way, AI-generated pictures, both of them. So is AI relevant for designers? Of course, they all use. Without using this, you have a lot of effort to create these pictures. There are also 3D printed furniture on the market which are 100% based on biomaterials. PHA, by the way, is a solution what you can use as a printing material, which can end in nature without leaving any microplastics in the world, combined with fibers from the sea. That's a result of a design process from designers from Stockholm. Interesting to see. So we are in, this is my favorite topic, we are in that loop. So the biomaterials and the way biomaterials can be used in furniture and being back into the loop at the end of the life cycle. And this is a piece of furniture from a startup, Münster, designers that had the idea of 100% make use of biomaterials and 100% tool-free assembly these biomaterials in a way that it's clicked together. Everything is completely plastic-free. At the end of life cycle, you can disassemble the whole piece. They make use, by the way, of materials all coming from the Netherlands. So if you ever look to or search biomaterials and you can't find in the Netherlands, these are on the market. So everything is possible and everything is there. By the way, Sampanel, 100% plastic-free, based on cellulose fibers. Melamine, by the way, is not a natural material, and PVC is not a natural material. PET is not a natural material. So if anyone is talking about sustainability and use that kind of material, of course, now maybe if in the recycling world it's possible to talk like this, but at the end it's plastic, it's at the end something which you need to burn. So this is the one you should choose, and they use this board in their furniture. By the way, they use a veneer on top of in the front of the material of the furniture coming from the Netherlands. It's called Seawood, a startup company from Utrecht. Chemical-free fiberboard, 100% based on seaweed. What they do is they separate the seaweed, the fibers, the cellulose from the natural binder, which is in, it's called alginate, and then they bring it back together under other circumstances, process is a secret how they do this, and they are able to produce that kind of fiber boards 100% free of chemicals and plastics. Start a couple of years ago and is now coming onto the market. We had a presentation on campus yesterday in the other hall. This is, by the way, no, it's not fully made from wood, but try to be. It's a bicycle camper. The wood is 100% natural, and we had that on display last year at Interzoom, and we brought a piece, this board, into the door panel to reinforce the stability of the door. And so it's the first 100% wooden foam. No chemicals inside, no plastic, no synthetics. It's on the market. Production volume is high, so try to work with them. It's coming from Butterweg. It's northwest of Germany, somewhere near Osnabrück. Another 100% bio board is called cocoa board from coconut fibers. Of course, we don't have coconuts in Europe. Their production facility is on the Philippines, but they started 2 months ago to have a production facility in Sweden. The fibers are coming from the coconut husk, and also the bio binder is coming from tannin, so also from this coconut husk, bringing everything together, 100% biodegradable in nature, a startup company from Switzerland. They have different qualities, low density boards, MDF, all what you can imagine, but without using any kind of plastics or melamine inside. And they have a table on the market. You can use the boards in construction of buildings. Super interesting to see. So that's my favorite from Wepa. They use hemp fibers instead of wooden fibers, because hemp fibers grow super fast within 3 months from August to October. The plant is cleaning the soil, so it's a super fascinating plant. The hemp field is next to the production facility. They developed the seed shell together with University of Amsterdam, which came with the idea of a 100% bio and 100% biodegradable thermoset. It's the first in the world, by the way. It's that liquid in this glass. So it can be recycled, the whole seed, but also can end in nature. Plantix is the startup who is producing it in high volumes now. They also think about plywood, so they developed a 100% bio solution with Koskisen from Finland. No toxins inside, no chemicals inside. Super interesting to see. We had the chair on display at Interzoom in Cologne last year, and we had a second chair, this one, because architects didn't like the color brown so much, so they have to think about which color is also possible. So black is possible. So what did they do? They brought biochar into the seed. Biochar is the result of a pyrolytic process when you heat up biomaterial could be biomass from agricultural waste, could be wood, to a temperature of, let's say, 400 or 500 degrees under exception of oxygen, and then the biomass is turned into biochar, 100% carbon, by the way, without letting the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And then they use the biochar as a filler material for furniture, but also as a filler material for plastics. Then the plastic industry can reduce their CO2 emissions. So when you count the numbers, they are almost down to zero. Super interesting. Of course, they combine the char with the biochar with plastics, but they have to start. They have to find a way into the market somehow. And that is the best example of what they already did. Super interesting now. They have some car manufacturers on the list. So try this. It's not only Carbonauten doing this. There is another startup called From Air, from Berlin, and from Sweden. I know some. So probably they have about 10 companies dealing with the pyrolosic process, and and Wepa last month they brought this chair onto the market. You can buy it now on their website. So last example for now, in the headline of my presentation I talk about high advanced materials for circularity. This is more a research project than a material on the market, but it's super interesting to know. Probably you know that with wooden fibers, when they are under a wet atmosphere and moisture, so they are reacting to moisture. So, and the fibers expand more in the growing process than 90 degrees next to it. They found out a way to use this effect, which is normally known as a negative effect, in a positive way, to produce parts without using any kind of molds. So the curved form of this shape is produced in a way the wood is transforming when it's drying again after being in a wet atmosphere. So they did this building a couple of years ago somewhere in the south of Germany. They also did a pavilion 3 years ago on Chicago Expo. You see the water content in the wood, and how is it's developing, expanding and moving around this shape. So that was the final result, and they created a stool from it. The idea is to have a flat pack piece of wood which is packed in a wet atmosphere, so there's a plastic foil around, and then you buy the piece of wood and you take out the wood after buying it, and overnight it dries and transformed into this nicely shaped piece of furniture. Hylotech is the name of the company, so they are at the starting point of stepping into the market. The second designer we found last year in Milan, so this is Milan Design Week, somewhere north of the center. I've forgot the name. It's, the guy is called Joshua Klappe. You see what is possible. And the chair was curved and shaped just using different wood and different thickness of wood and wood and wet atmosphere, and let it dry in a way that it and this guy could really control the whole process. Super interesting to see. Thanks for listening to me. I hope you got some new ideas about material and how this is developing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peters. You have taken us into the future with your presentation. The use of these innovation materials is for preserve the environment, okay? But also because people's attitude is changing and is changing, in particular with the new generations. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Of course, it's always a question of processes that are established within a company, and it's not easy to change from one material to another like this, so you have to work on it. But it is, I mean, we started 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
With the idea of bringing sustainable materials faster into the market, and still we're talking and talking about these really like crazy ideas when you first hear about them. Yeah, super interesting. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.